We are in the medical office of Dr. Russell Mosier. He bought his wife's uncle's practice and building for $325 and practiced for over 50 years in this building. And over his career, he delivered 2,500 babies and saved many lives. Right here on the operating table, the exam table cranks flat for an operating table, and it's strategically positioned by a window so that he could pull the curtains back and schedule surgery for the brightest time of the day to have daylight. And it's black so it doesn't show the blood stains. If that table could talk, it would just tell some horrific tales. Throughout the 24-hour period of any day, he would be called morning, noon, and night to go to a person's house whenever was needed. He did his office calls primarily with horse and buggy. He did own several cars toward the end, but he seems to have preferred the horse and buggy, especially in bad weather. When the cars couldn't pass through muddy roads, he would take the horse and buggy. His horse's name was Lady, a mare named Lady. And it's been said that Lady knew how to get home from anywhere in his practice, which was about a 10-mile radius. And that let the doctor catch a few hours, maybe an hour of sleep on the way home. And he served as the dentist in the area. We have his dental tools on display. He was the eye doctor. His eye chart is on display. Being a farming community and an agricultural community, there were a lot of broken bones and farm accidents. We have his surgery tools, which include a bone saw that is still on display for amputations and things like that. The old country doctor did everything. He even treated animals and was somewhat of a veterinarian. Just whatever was needed, regardless of their ability to pay, he would treat them because that was his oath. Payment was generally 50 cents for an office call and average of $1.50 for a house call, unless it was a baby delivery, and that usually ranged around $5. But payment wasn't always done in money. It was sometimes done in country money. It would be 3 chickens or 3 heads of cabbage or 10 pecks of blackberries when they were in season, or labor. There's even a documentation in his ledger that payment was made in the form of an oil painting. So whatever the people could afford and that was valuable to the doctor, they would strike up a deal. I'm sitting in the pharmacy, and not all doctors back in that period of time had a pharmacy, but Dr. Mosier outfitted his pharmacy with the cash that he got from selling his wife's peacock plume hat that she treasured. And he used that money to supply his first pharmacy. And then when he got his feet on the ground and could afford to, he bought her an exact replica replacement of that peacock feathered hat. Oh, Billy is a resident of the building. And Billy is said to be missing quite a few teeth, and that's because the doctor's son would take his father's instruments, dental instruments, and practice pulling teeth on Billy to brag to his friends that he could pull teeth. During the flu epidemic of the late 19 teens and early 20s, hundreds of people, if not thousands, in our area died from the flu. It was before antibiotics. And Dr. Mosier had over 500 patients that had the flu, and is said to have only lost one patient. We have a calendar page that was hanging in the waiting room and still is. It shows the date the doctor died at 1:20 a.m. and his funeral was 2 days later. And on the top of the calendar page there's a little note that says Ora Mosier died July 4th, 1929. Ora was the doctor's son. It was the 4th of July and they were putting off fireworks, but there was an accident and one exploded. And Ora was rushed to this building, and his father tried to save his life but couldn't. So it's a story of saving lives, but much tragedy too. The family locked the office up, and in their grief never really went back in the office again. The grandson, Edward Mosier, came into possession of the office. He walked back in and realized what an untouched time capsule that the office is. And Edward, realizing what a valuable resource this could be for educating people and giving tours, donated it to the Crawford County Historical Society. And the Historical Society made a huge attempt to preserve the accuracy of everything. A troop of volunteers came in and photographed everything, labeled everything, packed everything very carefully, repaired the building, put it in the back of a flatbed truck, built a road, a driveway up to the bluff overlooking the Baldwin Reynolds House Museum, brought it up and put it on a new foundation and put every tongue depressor and every medicine bottle back where it was the day the doctor passed away.